What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given, and today we're going to take a look at a Wonder Waddle game that gets really close to taking over, but just ultimately comes a little bit short. A slightly different narrative for this one. We're going into it knowing that it isn't going to work out exactly as we want it, though we still do some pretty powerful things. We sharded the Ice Queen into a Kitty Cup Purse on the first turn, and that's always really good. And then I'm going to wind up using a Forbidden Fruit to roll and lock onto a Blind Mouse and a Poliwoggle. Two really powerful characters for Wonder Waddle. So ultimately a pretty strong start to the game, and with the Kitty Cup Purse we'll even have a little bit of bonus cash to be able to play around. I think we get the Slay here against the Potion Master. I remember this Potion Master dies really early. Okay, it's against a Mad Mim. I was wondering how we got it. Yeah, an interesting combat there. And then we have another option in this shop. We could go Cindy plus Frog, but I just really like Blind Mouse and Poliwoggle while I'm working with Wonder Waddle. And then I'm just going to throw the Magic Research onto the Kitty Cup Purse, try to keep getting some additional econ. I could also see rolling there just to try to find Blind Mouse or Poliwoggle or even another Kitty Cup Purse for this early stage of the game. Could have sold off the Golden Chicken and started off the game with a nice little pair. But I'm also fine just adding +1/+1 to the Kitty Cup Purse. That isn't going to be enough to give it the Slay, and we do take a little bit of damage here, unfortunately, and also lose the Magic Research. So a little bit awkward, means that wasn't even worthwhile taking the Magic Research. We see a Wish Upon a Star in our second shop that we roll past, but if we were to Wish Upon a Star, that kind of diminishes the value we can get out of the Wonder Waddle hero power. So I just roll past that, and then I see a True Love's Kiss, which is really cool with Poliwoggle, but there's just not really that great chances for Poliwoggle to slay. So I wind up selling off the Golden Chicken and rolling and finding the Blind Mouse. That's going to give me the Coin of Sharon, which is a pretty nice way to start off the game, and then I lock onto both a Golden Chicken plus another Crafty in that next shop. We'll wind up taking a little bit of damage, but Poliwoggle got attacked into, so that is now a 5/5 Poliwoggle, and we're set up pretty well. By the way, I brought up in a recent video that I really don't like Cinderella on Wonder Waddle, and I think this game is a great example of when not to go for Cindy on Wonder Waddle, because there's just been too many other things that we've been focusing on this one. But now that Poliwoggle is a 5/5, I think that it is decent to lock onto this True Love's Kiss and send that up the chain, pretty similar to yesterday's video. And I was even thinking about just making them one video, but ultimately I just had enough to say differently in each of the two different videos that I did decide to split them up. I thought that yesterday's video kind of stood on its own. This is kind of just like a supplemental piece, but going to wind up playing out very similarly in a lot of ways. That's kind of funny how they mirror each other. It's funny when you play games and of Storybook Brawl and they wind up being so similar just in games that you play in proximity to each other. But we do get the Slay with Poliwoggle. We get to True Love's Kiss that into a level 5 character, and then I find another True Love's Kiss. So I'm going to lock onto that as well. And yeah, be able to grab another early level 6 character. There is one other thing that I wanted to say. Last turn, it might have looked like I was rolling a little bit more aggressively than you might in that scenario. There was a pair of white stags at one point that I think a lot of players would have locked onto. I wanted to bring up that the main thing I was looking for there was another Poliwoggle, because I think that that is what really winds up holding us back this game. If this Poliwoggle was upgraded and gave us an upgraded Tweedle, which even just this non-upgraded Tweedle still going to be very good for right now, but if we were able to grab off of this an upgraded Lordy, then I think we really would have just been able to dominate this lobby, because that would have given us a strong end game comp as well. Now, we are still going to be very strong for the immediate, because we get to pick up a doubly to go along with this Lordy. And now from here, the main things that I'm looking for are more doublies, greedies, and then some XP. And if we can find those in some combination, I think that we can also find a way to make some powerful boards. Doubly is probably going to be too big, but it does have some synergy with the Coin of Sharon as well. It'll be able to grab +8/+8 and eventually +12/+12 once we make it a triply, though I don't mind giving +4/+4 to the Kitty Cup Purse as well to continue to allow that to slay and continue to grab some econ advantage. We've got the spinning gold, and then we've also got the Kitty Cup Purse making its slays. We can see that Celestial Tiger is looking to double up on a skipping stone with a doubled up spinning gold, so that's pretty sweet. And we're going to find our own way to pick up some XP here. Like I said, we've got the cash. We had 13 cash this turn, so we were definitely, doing well with the Prize Pig and the Kitty Cup Purse, which we're able to greed with because we've got the Lordy. We don't quite have the greedy, but that is going to justify this Wish Upon a Star pickup here. A lot of times, and I believe that I mentioned this just briefly earlier, I don't really love to buy XP on Wonder Waddle, at least initially, at least until I've done something with the hero power, and I would say that Celestial Tiger is the same way. You don't really need XP on the hero because your hero power comes from low-leveled characters, but once you've already done something, once you've got your Kitty Cup Purse rolling and your Lordy from your Polywoggles, though, that was really just from the Blind Mouse, but we'll still credit the Blind Mouse as part of the hero power, right? Then you can go ahead and just pick up some XP and then try to find some other way to dominate the lobby. This is a cheeky fight up against the Ghost Potion Master. I think about just picking up this Baba Yaga, which will cost us 5 gold, but give us back 2 gold, and then 1 more gold when we sell it. So it will still cost us some gold, probably not worth going for, especially as it has no synergy with what we are trying to do with the rest of our board. So I'm just gonna roll and look for XP. I can take a Prize Pig, that's basically neutral, but I am gonna look for some XP first, and we are able to find it, and then I pick up the Prize Pig. But Prize Pig will give us 2 gold if it survives, and then 1 gold when we sell it. So it doesn't actually net us any gold to pick it up, though it does allow us to bank our gold going into 6.0. So that is a nice aspect of it. So now we've got 2 Prize Pigs and a Kitty Cup Purse, and we're going to be 3 XP up on the lobby going into 6.0, and I thought this was a pretty good start to the game. The main thing that we are missing here is we don't have any greedies. Oftentimes when I get an early Lordy, the next game plan is to grab some early greedies, and here we could honestly even consider transitioning, because we don't have that much as far as dwarves. I'm going to wind up picking up the Prize Pig, and this is one other thing that I did not talk about, but the other benefit of picking up the Prize Pig here is a look at a tier 3 treasure, because we could potentially grab treasure map and use that to help fuel an interesting endgame strategy. There's also potentially some tier 2 treasures that we could still work with at this stage of the game. A little bit late for bounty board, though something like the questing treasure I think definitely would have been an angle that I would have liked to pursue. And like I said, we've done our Wonder Waddle things. We're done with Wonder Waddle things, so I'm going to now dream into Morgan in case we do wind up losing some combats. I think that we're still pretty strong at this stage of the game with 5 dwarves and 3 XP up on the lobby. We can see that Celestial Tiger has cracked their puzzle runes, so they are also level 6 and are also going to look for some strong end game comps here to finish things out. So we shall see how that works out. This Horde Dragon has a black prism, so they've also got some cool stuff going on, and they've got a lot of health. We just knocked them down to 24 there, but they are still doing a lot here on top of the lobby. I pick up another golden chicken, and of course that's not going to pair off because we're no longer Wonder Waddle, but then I'll wind up finding a doubly and ending the turn with a reckless wager, and I can jump ahead here as well. And yeah, now we're kind of set up. If we win the combat, we get +3 gold. If we lose the combat, then we get a tier 6 treasure, and we can definitely do some strong stuff with that. At this point, we really just want to find some more lordies, though the longer it takes us, like this Geppetto is already level 6 too. So dwarves are going to fall off, and we do need to capitalize on our lead while we have it. Now, I end up taking Mimic Chest there. Let's go back and actually take a look at the other treasure options. Okay, yeah, Singing Sword does nothing with our comp. Ninth Book of Merlin does nothing with our comp. Pretty straightforward. Mimic Chest pick up there. That's going to double the Coin of Sharon and the Spinning Gold. So we'll have a double coin to potentially land on these doublies. And then I find an Echo Wood, which is obviously pretty strong, as well as a Tweedle. And that's another good character for the Coin of Sharon to land on. Honestly, I probably should put the Tweedle into slot 1. And it doesn't seem like it matters on the surface, because either the coin goes on the doubly, which is potentially going to be a triply, or it goes onto the Tweedle. Either way, we're only getting double the use out of it, though we actually get triple the use out of it if it goes on the Tweedle, because then Echo Wood also gets +4. So that's something that I should have considered there. You see me kind of like pointing it out for a second, but don't ultimately commit to that in the end. I do think that the Echo Wood should be strong enough here, as long as it can dodge the Scam from my opponent's Medusa. And I guess we don't actually get to take it out with the Tweedle there, but we do take it out with the Amy, and that is going to allow us to win this fight. This eliminates Muerte, and now we are actually in the top 4 already. So this lobby is almost over. Everybody has a decent amount of health left. We're actually in 4th place right now, but it probably means that I'm not changing around my board too much. I'm just looking for some more dwarves. So we'll pick up doubly. We get a tier 3 treasure doubled up from the Mimic Chest, so this Deepstone Mine giving +4/+4 to most of our characters. Pretty reasonable, though not super powerful. I think that this is going to fall off at some point, because we don't have that upgraded Lordy for the rest of the lobby. Up against a Horde Dragon and a Celestial Tiger that also had a similar amount of XP, and still everybody else has more health than us. We are down in 4th place right now, though pretty similar health numbers. The Tiger might be in the 30s, but probably like in the high 20s. Hard to tell just immediately. Horde Dragon actually found Hat and Ball to complement their Black Prism, so pretty good stuff. Though you can see we are still strong for this stage of the game. Not strong enough to get the kill onto Horde Dragon, though, which is a little bit awkward. And then we're going to triple the Echo Wood, and one of the main reasons that I like tripling the Echo Wood here is just for the tier 6 treasure, not really even for the tripled up upgraded Echo Wood. That's kind of a downgrade in power, but really powerful treasure options here. And I have to decide in the top 4, is Ivory Owl or Phoenix Feather better? Because I do want a Phoenix Feather in this comp, but I think that Ivory Owl is going to give us enough stats for right now that I should be picking it up. +4/+4 to each of my characters each turn is going to really allow us to scale this board in a nice way. So wind up picking the Ivory Owl up with the Mimic Chest here. Could have also tossed the Deepstone Mine and held on to the Coin of Sharon to even further grow the Tweedles in the front row. And I think that that might have been an interesting way to look at the board as well. But we are still really strong for this stage of the game, and this is why I went the dwarves route. I did think that the game was going to be over relatively quickly, and that we could potentially try to end it by just going for dwarves. We're going to take out the Fates, Celestial Tiger's going to take out Horde Dragon, and now we're on to the finals. Like I said, Celestial Tiger does have a bunch of health left, and that does kind of make me consider still going for Hercules, though we'll be able to grab a tier 6 treasure from our hero power if we take a little bit of damage. So I'm willing to just go that route with it as well. I buy some health just because you never know, maybe we find, maybe the health is relevant because we are playing Muerte, or Morgan rather. And then I am going to find another Lordy, finally, eventually here. And we can see Celestial Tiger is on 24 health. So not actually that big of a health discrepancy, though they are on a 5-game win streak, and it seems like they've been able to do pretty well for themselves. They just beat that Horde Dragon, though. So did we. So it's tough to know exactly where their power level is at. And how close this one is going to be. And they went for a pretty straightforward route. They picked up a bunch of trees after hitting level 6, but the scary thing is they have that Mimic Chest plus Phoenix Feather that I was just talking about, which is a really powerful combination, and their Echo Wood is just about as big as ours, and then they've got 3 of them, effectively. So they are going to find the win, but that puts us right down to 5 health. So now we've got some options here. I'm just going to pick up the Phoenix Feather because I'm hoping that if we have 3 Echo Woods, then we'll be able to battle with them. Though I could have seen taking the Wand of Weirding. That would have been a triple coin pickup here. I don't think that Wand of Weirding would have been good enough. It could have made that Kidnap funny, though we would have need to find a combat spell that could win us this combat right here now. And I guess that we could have from the... what was that? Drink Me potion, and then I'll wind up taking another health potion here before ending the turn off just with a Blessing of Athena that we have in this shop right now. We'll sell off the prized pig as well. And just to grab a little bit more stats, we are scaling this board. We've got the double ivory owls, and our board is getting slightly bigger over time. The other thing I'm going to do is frontline the Echo Wood. That's going to soak up a lot of the trees for my opponent because their Echo Wood is in the back line. So our Echo Wood does get to do a lot of work, and then Phoenix Feather resummons it. One of them then gets to trade with my opponent's Echo Wood. Then they make 2 more, and honestly, this game felt so close, but we do wind up losing it here. Ultimately, 24% to win, not quite going to get us there, but I did think that this game had some funny parallels to yesterday's video with the True Love's Kiss up the chain. Still going to wind up falling a little bit short, though. This time it was more we fell short because we weren't fully able to capitalize on everything we wanted to do. Never found a greedy, and we took a lot of time just rolling after we were level 6. We did turn into Morgan and grab some nice tier 6 treasures, though Celestial Tiger was just able to do it better than us. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.